Hi, I'm Uncle Mark. Welcome to the channel. Don't skip this first intro here. This is very important if you're trying to change the bulb in your headlight on your Chrysler or Dodge Intrepid. This is a 97, so I think it's 94 to 97 they made this body style, and possibly for the newer ones too, but this is specifically 97 or 98 and older. You can't just change them. You are going to break the housing. I'll show you why, so please watch ahead of time before you try it. Most places are just going to figure you're changing the headlight, the actual assembly itself. The ones I've got on this car are in very good shape, so I'm not changing them. Step by step, we'll also have skippable chapters too, so if you get to a certain point and you want to go to the end, it'll be linked down below. Anyway, let's get right to it. So I'm going to show how I replace the bulb. First of all, the marker light, the easiest thing would be to take it out, and there's this little clip here. If you just move it a little bit, and then you should just pull the head or the signal light out, straight out. You'll see how this. Well, I'll show how it goes back in later. There's actually a finger on this side too, so I have to kind of get my little fingers in there and pull on it. This goes counterclockwise. That'll unplug. Good, maybe to check these bulbs while you're at it too. Now, if we look at this, it's a torque screw. It's supposed to come out, and you see it going through this plastic here. It's a T15, and what usually happens is when they get this old, and this one's actually broken, so I'm going to try and fix it. Anyway, this screw goes down. It's actually got a bushing in the bottom, and I'm showing you it on the right-hand side there. The problem is it ends up rusting or getting stuck in the end of this screw, and when you try and turn it, it's just going to spin the bushing and you won't get this screw out, no matter what you try. So probably the easiest thing is to just drill it out. That's what I'm going to do. I tried turning them, tried both headlights. There's two of these screws in each headlight. I used a 5/32 drill bit. Eye protection's a good idea too. It's a must. Because look at the stuff coming off. So it's just a little bit bigger than actually the actual screw size itself. So that's why the head just kind of came off. And I'm just going to tap it down out of the way. You wouldn't want to get this metal in your eye. You can see this bushing coming out the bottom. I used a punch. Take it out of there. There's one on the other side of the headlight as well. There's that bushing again. Like I say, I can't turn it. Show you the other side as well, but you see how it's going to come off of there. Now if we go to the other side here, there's another one too. The mount is broken on the headlight. It's hot. I mean, it's hot. Can actually see it smoking, almost melting the plastic. I actually sprayed some water in it as I was doing it. So you see the top mount's broken on the headlight. The bottom mount isn't. I'm going to fix that as well. If yours are fine, you can just skip to the next section. If you want to know how to fix them, I've got a couple different ones. Anyway, if that all came apart nice, all you have to do is turn this counterclockwise. Not easy to do with my big mitts, big fingers. You should be able to, once that's off, pull it out. Now that was the easy part, because now to actually get this bulb out, this clip, I don't want to break it. Tried a couple different ways. Whoa, it popped out. Easy enough. Now this bulb, depending on what number you use, is either an HB5 or a 9007. The 9007 is probably the more popular number. Now the problem here is I've got some breakage. I know it's not really a word. Let me set you up here. So we look, this top tab on this side is busted right off. You see what it looks like compared to the other one, compared to the bottom one. So while I have it off, I'm going to try and fix it. And this one, this top one, looks, it's already thin and it's kind of, looks like it's going to snap off too. So I'm going to make a tab for this as well. And I'm just going to use some metal. We got some tin. I don't know where I got it from. I think it might have been an old part of a forced air furnace vent, or I guess they'd call it a register, floor register. This is the size that I used. They're 3 inches by whatever that number was there. You can go back and take a look at it. Just about the right size. So just a little longer than they probably need to be, but better longer than shorter. I think this is part of that register. It was a floor flapper, or I don't know what you call that. Controls how much heat is coming out or cool. So I'm just going to make, it was just a piece I had kicking around. We use some tin snips. These are straight cut tin snips. Just going to kind of fandangle a piece for here. Again, if this is not something you need to see, you can always skip ahead. Or if it's a different tab, because I also do the other side of this light, and then I do a completely opposite one on the driver's side as well. So if you need any of those, I'll try and put them in the chapter descriptions, so you can skip ahead. Otherwise, you can see how I'm going to make it. Try not to bore you with the details too long. I've got my felt marker out, and I guess you could have used paper to make your pattern first. I figured this was quick enough. Doesn't have to be perfect, just has to hold it on. But I'm trying to make it, similar to the shape it was before, because there's going to actually be a hole in there later on for mounting. At least you see the process. Yeah, I know I could have spent, I don't know what these would cost Canadian. If we're in Canada here, maybe $100 for a pair of these headlights, maybe a little more. Or maybe you could get a U set somewhere. We don't have an auto wrecker close by at all. I think the closest one that might have one of these cars is a good 2-hour each way to get to them. So I don't know how long this, I probably fiddled with this for an hour between both headlights and the extra monkeying around. This is fitting pretty good. Like I say, this is, for this one, it's kind of a fix it before it breaks kind of thing. Of course, I used vice grips as well, so that that metal didn't turn on me and maybe cut me. That's very possible. Also need to have a way to mount it to the plastic headlight. So I made a hole in it, and then I make a smaller hole for some screws. I'm just using whatever kind of scraps I can find kicking around the garage. Wife always says, why are you saving this? Well, they weren't the best screws, but it works. Like I say, instead of having to buy new headlights and wait, so I spent an hour on this, and they're both done. I guess I can say I've made myself at least $100 an hour by making this. So you see how this is going to work. Actually, later on, I'm just going to paint them black too. So I stuck this in here, and just then it was steady, so I can make this other side first, and then I'll bolt everything together. So we see how the bottom was still hanging on, but the top broke. Now this actually had that little bend in it, but I guess the guy could just lay it on the screw and take a hammer and bang it on both sides to get it to bend around like that. was wondering how I was going to make this. Plus, got to make sure it's not too high. So this is going to be a piece on top of it after, right? Okay, well, it's looking pretty good. Seems like it's going to fit in there. So I need a part for this top too. Again, a guy could have used cardboard or paper first, make some templates. That looks like that's going to work too. So back to this one side here, I'm going to tighten it up a little bit and make sure that it's going to sit where it needs to sit. I just used the washer, and the washers I had, the nut came with the screw. So on this side, now that it's a little more, it's got some strength to it because that one side is mounted down. Figured I'd do the same with this side. Figure where the light has to sit. Put the bottom in, so that's going to be where it sits as well. And I figured once I have that all lined up, I can just drill into the headlight. And again, I'm drilling into spots here that don't actually go to the inside of the headlight. You'll be able to see from underneath after. So I just tighten the nut off on the bottom there. I have to remember too, I didn't put the bulb in because I might have to take the light out a few times, so I still have the bulb out of this thing. So I'm going to take this apart after. But I want it to fit good. That's the main purpose of doing this. I get these screws at a hardware store. They're nothing special. Always helps if you moan too when you do something like that. It looks like it's going to hang on really well. Yeah. And I'm proud of myself. I know it's kind of Mickey Mouse, but tighten her all up. And then I realized, you know, oh, I'm going to put some fluid film on there so that, you know, as this thing starts rusting or whatever, well, this will stop it from rusting. I won't be able to take these off because one day, if the car lasts that long, the bulb will burn out again. I haven't put the bulb in though, the headlight bulb. Remind me, I gotta make sure to put it in. So that's what it's gonna look like. Now, okay, I'll put the bulb back in. This ring goes on first, like that. And then, gotta be careful to try not to touch the glass on the bulb, because if you get oils on it from your fingers, that bulb gets super hot and you can end up wrecking the bulb. It won't last very long. Get that popped in there. I have to turn it a little bit. It only goes in one way. And then the same with this ring. It turns on. And turn it clockwise. Put all the pieces back together. If we look at this is the driver's side, and he had this, that's how this was holding. Huh. Somebody's had this up before and the bottom piece is broken. So again, if you don't have this issue, you can just skip to the end. Show you right here though, how I made it. A little bit of felt marker again. I wanted to know where the hole's supposed to be. Get it all to line up. Not too bad. Made a couple of holes for some screws. One screw probably would have even been enough. I'm going to put two in here because I had a little more room. Then once I had them in there, look at that. That should hold. And the headlight won't be bouncing around or break further. That's what the driver's side looks like. That was the only one that was broken. I had to drill both of them out though. Those mounting screws. Did that one as well. The mounts were good though. Bolts in there. I should spray some of that stuff on there as well. I took a little bit of black paint. I figured, why not? It'll just look a little better when you open the hood. Not that anybody's going to notice, but no, why not? Do things half right. I said I even got a little bit of masking tape. Just didn't want to get any on the clear lens. And that's what it looks like after it was done. Now I just need to put the signal light back in. Use those fingers. And that little catch. 2 fingers go in there, so bulb goes in clockwise. Only goes in one way, so you have to fiddle around with it to get it to go inside and then turn. And you have that little finger that goes into that body mount there. You have to do that, and these 2 rectangle pieces all together, and that clip should, once you push it in, should snap and hopefully hang on. Hopefully it didn't break. That's a neat little system. And that's it. Well, that's going to do it for the video. Hopefully it was helpful and you saw some of the issues that you can have trying to change a couple simple bulbs. That's what happens when vehicles get old. Anyway, now you know how to do it. At least that's the way I think you're going to have to do it. If you like the video, please give me the thumbs up. You can also subscribe, of course, down in the corner, as always. And don't forget, there's a playlist on this car. We'll put it right up here. Intrepid playlist just above the circle. You see the yellow flashing arrow. That'll give you a few more videos. We'll try and add to them as long as I have the car. Thanks for sticking around for the last 18 minutes or so. You and your family stay safe. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye from Uncle Mark. Remember to be safe. Your safety is your responsibility and should be priority number 1. Please subscribe and you'll get all the notifications. It's easy. The little dog will show you how. Ring the bell. Ring the bell. Two hands. Ah.